do you mean my microphone is unmuted? Has no.
You make good money. $6,066 a month.
Let's see how well this works. So, I think I'm logged in to everywhere I need to be. Only took me 5 minutes because, of course, I was locked out of my TikTok account and excuse me, had to get a security code, and then I had to turn on dark mode, and then, yeah, every obstacle you can imagine. But I hope. Well, my software says my microphone is working, so hopefully everyone can hear me just fine. It's been a hot minute since I've gone live for any duration of time. I think that changes, but we'll see how things go. Right now, I'm just going to work on the projects I have in front of me. Some of them are the same projects that were sitting in front of me a year and a half ago. And others are new, and we'll get to those as we close each ring. We will get to those other projects. So anyway, how is everyone doing tonight? How was your day? What is going on in your world? What do you have planned for the weekend? Happy Thursday. Alright. I am just turning older this weekend. Very old man. I need a cane. Somebody send me a cane and a new hip, apparently, because that's the thing when you get older is you need new hips. I don't really need a new one. I'm just old and achy. So, for anyone wondering what I'm making, I am working on an older sculpture that I have felt the entire time was not complete. And this is my Pinecone sculpture. It is made from thousands of small metal rings. As you can see, I am attaching rings one by one to this chain, right? And whoa, okay. This chain becomes this ring, right? And then this ring gets added to this pinecone sculpture. So the more petals you add, the more it looks like a pinecone. So I'm going to add over half, right? 4, 8, 12, 16. So yeah, over half of what I already have to this pinecone. And then I'm going to leave it alone and never touch it again because first live in a long time. What's going on, Louie? Nice to see ya. How have you been? So, we're working on my little pinecone sculpture here. If I get bored of this, I have other projects to work on. I've got supplies and the start of a cube that's been sitting here for quite some time. And I also have the start of a new project, which I'm not going to... I don't know if this is the very beginning of it. Right? I have to make 50 of these little beads here. So, Sarah, how you doing? Good to see you guys too. So anyway, we'll get more into this bead later. I've got green and orange and blue and gold in that ring size, and I need to do something with them, and there's a experiment I want to try. So anyway, so I need 16 of these, right? I have 5. I need 11 more. I'm kind of been working on one and fiddling with settings, and hopefully people can hear me, and we'll just go from there. So, why does it say that high CPU? See how this goes. The fan on my computer is blowing. I'm getting a warning. It says high CPU usage. Hi. Anyway. Alright, moving on. If the stream crashes, the stream crashes. It is been a hot minute I've streamed it all, and so I'm sure there are going to be pains getting started and getting it back into a smooth routine. I also remember having constant problems when I was streaming last time. Hopefully most of those have been resolved. So we shouldn't have an issue. We might, but we shouldn't. See how things go. Alright. So today I learned that you shouldn't trap chipmunks in your garage overnight. This was an unfortunate event. Somehow a chipmunk got stuck in my garage and chewed the garage door seal, right? Which, fine, I understand the animal wants to escape. Unfortunately for the animal, I did not want him to eat my garage door liner. So, I did chase him out once I realized he was in there, or she, or whatever. But, and now I have a giant hole in this garage door seal that I just replaced. So, and by just replaced, it's been within the last year. Let's be honest. It wasn't yesterday, it wasn't last month. So, I don't know what this music is. I don't have the subscription to Pretzel Rock anymore, to, what is it, copyright free music. I just have like the free trial. So, and there's only one station available called Surprise Me, so it's just playing whatever music. Reminds me of Looney Tunes, though. If you're old enough for Looney Tunes, you're probably old enough for this stream. So, not much else happened today, aside from the sad state of my garage door seal. I went to work, came home from work. In between, I did work. Good time. Nothing too crazy going on. Trying to see here. Who'd I see today? That's one of the aspects of my job. I can't talk about my patients except like in code. Obviously, it would be a HIPAA violation. But this week, the last 2 weeks have been discussing a lot of pain control techniques with patients. Everybody's, oh, you know what? I can talk about this. It's hot where I'm at, and none of my patients drink enough water. And if you don't drink enough water, you get constipated. And when you get constipated, you can end up going to the hospital because you're dehydrated and constipated. So please drink your water. Come on. Drink your water so you don't get constipated, so you don't get dehydrated, and have to go to the hospital. I had like 3 patients I had to send. It was ridiculous. Like, you can help me by not causing me to do a bunch of paperwork when you go to the hospital. I'm Astrid. How you doing? I am live. How are you? I'm live, and I'm working on probably the same projects the last time you saw me. We almost need to count this. So each of these rings is 32 units around. Each unit is 8 rings. For a total of 256 rings. 256 rings per ring. Right? So, first you make a strand. 31 units of 4 rings, and then you add the other 4 rings before connecting it. And the connection would be the 32nd unit. I hope that all makes sense. I'm not sure if it actually makes sense. It's just, that's how I work it out in my head. So, I've made videos on some of the math aspects of chainmail, and I am not a good math explainer. So I really shouldn't try to explain any of the math at all, ever, but sometimes people have questions. Let's count this up real quick because we're close. I do have one problem with this. Doing great, just building and trying to get the motivation to film. Oh, there you go. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I need 5 more. Ring. Okay, 27, 8, 9, 30, 31. Add all those, and that will be inside of one of these rings, and then we'll add the outside, and then we'll connect it for 32 units total, 8 rings apiece. It'll make more sense once we get the outside mostly wrapped up. My motivation to film today was inspired by the fact that it's ungodly hot outside, and I have ordered supplies. I have this fancy light behind me and camera equipment, and I should put it to good use. Also, I'd like to be famous one day with lots of money and not, and spend a lot of money on my truck and take my kid on vacations and not have to worry about it. Help me get famous. All right. Okay, that's 1, 7. So don't keep chipmunks in your garage overnight, and drink lots of water. Those are the lessons from excuse me, the last couple of days. Months, years, whatever. Also, spend more time on your hobbies. I don't know why. Joking. I seem to remember this happening last time I was streaming, right? I'd be down here for hours, and then I'd start talking. And it wasn't until I started talking that I started, oh, I got a cough. You know, hydration is very important, and no one, not even you, not even you. I don't care who's watching. You probably don't drink enough water. And if you drink a ton of water, you probably drink too much water, and you're losing too many electrolytes, and that's a whole other issue. So, it's summertime, and it's hot. That comes with a lot of consequence. Right. You drink too much? Yeah, do you, like, sweat all the electrolytes out of your system, and then, like, you're drinking a ton of water and wonder why you have a headache? Maybe you don't. I just know that it happens that way. Alright. What else did we learn? So, you know the window visors that go on your vehicles so that you get a little extra shade at the top of the window and it prevents rain from coming in your drink too much. But you have to stop drinking too much, balancing with electrolyte. There you go. Alright, so window visors. Right? Don't buy cheap ones. I learned that the hard way. I just spent, $140 on new ones. The new ones match the fender flares on my truck, so I'm not mad about it. But the ones I had on there would have been fine. Right? For a lot longer. The cheap ones that I bought, I think they were, I don't know, maybe $70. They, just the driver's side window visor, like melted and started separating from the truck. So that was annoying. There was a notification here. It says, your viewers are silent. Try saying something. I didn't see what it said. Yes, by all means, feel free to comment. I don't know what to incite. I don't know what to say to incite people to comment. I came here to listen to my own voice. This is why I'm in my basement, talking to myself. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, comment, like, share, hit the heart button. I need 100 million followers on every platform. That would be awesome. Right now, I've got like 15,000. So we got a long way to go. A lot of work to do. Okay, that's done. Right? Now we're going to start putting on the outside. I think it goes this. Alright. Oh, for anyone who's wondering what I'm... Okay, so spam chat. Mac, how you doing? Alright, so this is a weave called Full Persian. Right? And we're adding an outside layer and bending it into a ring. What is this stuff called? Sandworm? Something? I forget what this weave is called. I don't remember. It's been a hot minute since I've had to think about any of this. So, this becomes this, which in turn gets added to this sculpture. Because the more this is built up, the more it looks like a pine cone. Right? And I've been meaning to extend this for some time. I just haven't had time. So, yes, that's what it's called. I had a hunch. So, I think it goes like this. Gotta double check. I've made a ton of this weave, so I know how to make it. But I have to check every time because I will literally do it backwards. Really easy to do backwards too. Okay, yes, I was correct. Okay. Alright, I've got my son's birthday coming up. Nikki, thank you for the like. Alright. What do you get an 11-year-old? I sent him to church camp over earlier in the summer. That wasn't cheap. It wasn't really expensive, but it wasn't cheap, right? Then, like 6 weeks goes by and it's his birthday, so what is this? Oh, that finally came through. Alright, gotta... Got a notification. Nothing important. Alright. So what do you get an 11-year-old? I guess is my question. I know what he wants. He wants another screen. I'm good with not buying anyone another screen ever. I don't watch TV. I did watch Braveheart the other night. Right? And I occasionally watch movies. But I don't have any subscription services. Not that I couldn't get access to them, but I don't. I know people like go and watch shows and everything. If you asked me something about any show, like the other night, I had probably 100 people come up talking about Love Island, right? I have never seen Love Island. I don't know what Love Island is about. And I didn't stay to listen, okay? So, apparently, I guess it's a pretty popular show. I don't know if I've ever even seen an advertisement for it. And these people are just like giving the seasonal end of season updates or something. Nerf, Airsoft, RC. Airsoft, there's an option. Kid isn't getting his own screen for years. Maybe a computer for school eventually. Oh my god. I had to buy a Chromebook this year. That's fun. Let's buy I don't know, a largely useless piece of equipment for school. I think they should take computers out of school. That's what I think. You can get a typewriter to learn how to type. Right? No more internet access in schools. Some comments in life were filtered to protect the community's experience. Yeah, no. It's a social... Yeah, Love Island is, what do you call it? A reality TV show, right? I've never watched a single reality TV show. Like, I've seen episodes of Survivor from back in the day. But homeschooling him, so it'd be necessary at some point. A computer? Oh, yeah. I'm not opposed to children having screen time. But if I could go back, yeah, no, my kid would not get nearly as much screen time as he does. Unfortunately, I'm a bad, neglectful parent who is usually doing stuff while my kid is babysat by a screen. And now it's, you know, it's too late if he's not terrible about it. He does get rowdy, playing video games and stuff. And he has told me that he's been bored this summer. I'm like, good. You need to be bored. You need to learn how to function and entertain yourself while bored. Oh, I hear a corgi upstairs howling. I hear a dog howling upstairs, and I kind of catch a flashing light behind me. It's this light over my shoulder here, because I'm slow, and the howl is not a police car, it's my dog. So, good times. All right. All right. You heard the dog howl? My kid's over at the neighbor's swimming. So the dog is alone. And he's a sad puppy. All right. I might do, it's 8:30. I might do this one ring and then move on to something else. After, I have a low tolerance for doing the same project right now. And I'll build back up to being able to work on the same project, you know, over and over and over again, day after day. But right now, like, I've made 5 of these so far, and I'm good with taking a little break. So, been a minute since I had to focus on one thing for long periods of time. I don't want to burn myself out on one project. I do have, so this will be number 6, and I will have 10 more to make after this one. So, right? I've got this whole bag. Then I have part of a cube I've worked on before that's been sitting here waiting for supplies. And I have supply. Then I have this little thing. It's hollow. And I need 50 of them. So, lots of stuff to work on right here. No need to bore myself to tears working on one thing. So, I can bore myself to tears working on several. Okay. I've got the green and the orange. I have green and orange, not the green and the orange. You have 70 pouches to do by next week. Yeah, I have talked before ad nauseum about how I cannot make the same thing over and over and over again. I just got done doing 14 out of 20 bracelets, and I started like over a year ago, and I just didn't finish them. I was busy doing other things and I was not down here working on stuff. And so I did, like, the actual physical time it took me to make all these bracelets was not that long. But I did pitter and putter and put it off and not do it. So, because I'm going to say something that sounds odd. I don't like doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? And what I mean by that is I don't like making the same types of items over and over. I can't do it. So I could not make, well, I could force myself to sit down and make 70 pouches. I absolutely do not want to do ever. Props to the people who can do that. They are better than me. So, are you getting ready? I'm assuming you're getting ready for, is it Kansas City Renaissance Festival that you go to? Or Oklahoma? Yeah. The Renaissance Fair. There's something I haven't been to in years. I don't know if I'll ever go back. I don't know. Maybe on a date or something. I don't know. I suppose I will probably need more decor for my basement, right? I only have one spear and one battle axe down here. So, of course, I'm going to need it. So, best place. Your bracelet needs a refresh. It's not black and stainless anymore because you wear it all day, every day. Right on. That's awesome that you wear it and that you wore off the color. I don't know how to... My understanding of black and stainless steel is that it's like cooked in oil to get some of the color on, like motor oil. And I don't listen to me about any details on this topic, but yeah, I don't know if you can refresh black and stainless. Fun to work with. It's cool. But there is a downside to working with anything with color. That's just the fact. Oh, gross. Yeah, I won't be doing that. You meant getting a new one. Oh, yeah. I gotcha. Okay. Here. Definitely need, like, I have 3 chainmail shirts, a spear, and a battle axe. A double-headed battle axe. Cheap, probably Chinesium thing that I picked up years ago. It is stainless steel. It will cut you, but it's not, like, battle ready, right? So I was thinking of mounting it to my motorcycle. I saw someone else do that with a double-headed axe, different than mine, wood handle. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, that's a for sure way to never have a passenger on my motorcycle. It would be cool though. So if I can find a way to easily attach and detach it, you're like, what are you thinking? Putting a weapon on your motorcycle, what happens if you wreck? I will not make it. That's what will happen. That is the risk. Yeah, my spear is holding my inlay up. So I used it as a rod to hold a tapestry. That's cool. It's fun. Need more tapestry, for sure. And more spears. And I should have several swords. I guess I do have a reason to go to the Renaissance Festival. Keep getting this high CPU usage notification. Wondering why. Or no. Don't know. Alright, let's see here. What is 256 times 44? Right? Let's get a calculator. Calculator. This. There. To find the image that looks like a calculator. We can't put names on it. Okay. So as of right now, total, when this is done, this will have 11,264 small rings into it, 48 large rings. So 11,264 plus 48. I probably could have done that in my head. 11,312 rings total when this is done, right? Now, my question is, that's 44. I need 10 and a quarter more, right? So 256 times 10 point, no, not 10.5, 5. All right, I got 2,600 rings left to weave, right? At 100 rings an hour. Okay, I got a couple, 26 hours. Probably could have done that in my head. Right? What's 2624 divided by 10? Or divided by 100? Alright. So, I bet it won't take me 26 hours though. It might. These are a pain. Right? I can usually weave faster than 100 rings an hour. 100 rings is my base. If I'm making European 4-in-1 and I'm sitting in front of the TV and I am just weaving while watching a TV show, I can cruise through 200 rings an hour. 175, 200 rings an hour. Pretty easily. But if it's a more complex weave like this one, it takes more time. So this might actually take me another 26 hours. I'm betting it won't. See what happens. So there's 250 rings per each of these. So it's going to be 2.5 hours per. And I started, well, no, I started around 7:15, 7:30. It's almost 9 now. I did spend a lot of time fiddling around with settings and logging into places. And not all of it is dedicated to straight weave. Got a bot. Oh, whatever that means. There we go. So 26 hours, lots of work to do. Not a lot of time to do it in. We'll see how time constraints go. Right now, I spend a lot of time. Most of the time, I don't have time to stream anymore, honestly. Like, while my kid's in school, get up, get him ready for school, myself ready for work, take him to school, go to work, get done with work, pick him up from school, go home, homework, charting, dinner, more charting. So, and then by the time I was done charting, it'd be 8, 9 o'clock at night, and my brain would just be fried. That's a big reason why I haven't been streaming. Is just no time, no ability to, no energy to work on stuff. I'll never be, YouTube famous if all I do is never work on my projects. Right? You know what? Okay. Here's another fun thing about this project. Now, I have a soft spot in my heart for the Ring Lord. I do. I swear to God. Every time I order something from them, it's not necessarily that there's something wrong with the product. It is just, and that, okay. Let me, okay. I ordered these rings to finish this sculpture, right? Now, these rings were ordered years apart, okay? The rings that I bought are dead soft. The rings that are currently in this are sculpture are very springy, right? And so they hold together well. The last ring I did, I think might be this one, might be the next one, I don't know. It's very it's soft, it's dead soft, right? Whereas everything else has a bit of a spring to it. This one is like not resisting at all. I feel like you could just rip it apart, right? So there's nothing wrong with what I ordered. I got what I ordered. It just didn't match what I needed, right? Which not the Ring Lord's fault, but I pretty much am done with old Ring Lord supplies, so I can order new I can order new supplies now from anyone. A while ago, told your wife to tell you we were missed, and she was like, Who are you? Oh. Actually, you know what? I think she told me about that. And she didn't remember your name. But she told me someone came asking for me. And believe me, I would be here if I could all the time. I'd rather do this than anything else most of the time. I do have to work out. Not that I work out now, but I need to work out, right? So I need to be doing that. I need to take care of my kid, and I need to eat, and I need to go to work. So I do also want to take care of my kid. Let's be clear about that. So if I didn't have to do all those other things, and if there were not other things that I prioritize, I would be here. And so we'll see if I can, like, look, I got the light. I got the light, I got the cameras, I got everything I need to sit here and do this. I need a different chair. This chair is not comfortable anymore. Not comfortable. Gotta figure out something else. You know, hobbies come second, man. We all run our lives. Oh, I know. Shanna has liked the live. Thank you, Shanna. The more likes and the more shares and the more comments, the more famous I become. So I am reliant on all of you to make my face and my work well known. There is this Spend your pine cone is exactly what the kids are calling it. It is a pine cone. I know where you grew up. I know you know exactly what pine cones look like. Expanding your pine cone is what the kids are calling it. God, I hope not. Whatever that innuendo is referencing, I'm not sure. Anyway, Shanna, how are you? We've got multiple. If you're watching on TikTok, I am live on Facebook and YouTube under the same name. At least I think I'm live on YouTube. I did check. It did say I was live, or I didn't check YouTube. Usually I don't. It is the most beautiful pine cone you have ever seen. You're going to ask to show us. Yeah. Yeah, so this is my pine cone. It will have 11,312 rings when it's done. 48 big copper rings and 11,264 small rings. So 11,264 small rings made into big rings that are then woven into the pine cone. Because the more layers you add, the more pine coney it looks. And I think 4 more layers, it should be about yay big, should do the trick. That makes sense? It should be about yay high by the time it's done. So we're working on our I have 5 large rings. I need 11 more. And we just did the math. It was 2,600 rings to weave until I was done. I think it needs to come to more of a point. If I could do that, I would. Right? And so it's got, hang on. We can discuss the theory behind this. Okay. So in the center here are 4 rings. You see where these 2 rings are? They're not connected to each other. And then these 2 rings are not connected to each other, and these 2 rings are not connected to each other. Right? These 2 and the... Right? Those are what's pulling it into a... It's what's pulling it up, because when those 4 rings aren't there, it kind of slumps down and lays flat and frumpy, right? And so those 4 rings pull it together. So if you want to pull it more into a point, the top outside rings, you could probably shrink those or get smaller copper rings to shrink it some more. I don't know how much more you could shrink it. Mike, how you doing? Long time no stream. If you haven't watched in a while, I haven't been here. We just got done kind of talking about work and life and everything. But yeah, so that is how I would go about bringing it more to a point. Mac, yeah, they would have to be progressively smaller. Not that it can't be done. I don't know how much I'm willing to invest in figuring that out. I'll be happy if I just get it to the size I want. And it will be Pinecone enough. You're surviving? That's good to hear. How is your cube sculpture? How is your cube working, coming along? All right. Yeah, you could make it look more like a pine cone, and I'm not saying it's not worth it. This is by all means a beginner practice pine cone. I've never made a pine cone sculpture before, and so this is just kind of how it turned out. I'm mostly pretty happy with it. Working on it at the moment. Funny enough, took a break focusing on other things in life. Yeah. Yep. That stuff comes up. I honestly have not had time to stream in months. So it's like in order to get streaming in, I would have had to just eliminate all free time. So, but tonight was like, all my work's done. I was down here fiddling around with some stuff. I have some supplies that came in. I had been cleaning up lately down here because I have a lot of stuff just laying around that I need to finish up and clean up. And it's a Mailworks pine cone. Yeah, it'll be perfect. Yeah. It'll be as close to looking like a pine cone as I'm willing to work on getting it. I'm happy with it. And the reason, so I did not need to expand it, but the first time, I attempted it, I only did like the first 3 rows, and then that obviously wasn't enough. 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I made like 2 or 3 more rows, and that expanded it a a little more, made it a little more Pinecone, and then you've lost 50 pounds since February. You just finished listening to book 6 of Dungeon Crawler Carl. Were the 50 pounds intentional? Because if that's the case, then great. If not, I'm assuming it's intentional because, you know, spent a bunch of money renovating some in the house. Yeah, I just bought a new water heater for my birthday. I spent way too much money on a brand new water heater because mine started leaking. Yes, they were intentional. Okay, good. That is good to hear. Congratulations. I too have lost weight. Not much. Not much recently, but it's definitely... 2 years ago, I was 260 pounds. It's like... I'm not 260 anymore. I'm not where I want to be. Another 20-ish pounds to go. Heck yeah! So, I find that being more active, even with my poor diet, I still managed to keep dropping. I broke into the 220s the other day. I'd like to get down to under 200. And I mean, I think that's very manageable, and I could probably do 20 pounds in the next 2 months if I wanted to go outside and run around and sweat my butt off for, you know, a few hours this summer. But I'm also okay with just being more active and eating better. 190 is your ultimate goal? Yeah, that's where I should be. My knees would probably hurt less if I was 190. Getting old sucks. Oh, speaking of getting old, here we go. I have progressive lenses now. You can't tell because there's no bifocal line, okay? But that was also part of my struggle in working on projects because I couldn't see. So I am officially an old man. I've got I can now see the projects I'm working on that are in front of my face. That was a life change. Yeah, I finally got progressive lenses this year. And here's the thing, right? Like I get them, and I can't see my feet when I walk. Right, going downstairs, it's very treacherous. And now I really understand why old people fall so much. Like part of it's they're weak and deconditioned and frail. The other part is they can't see from here on their glasses down. Everything is like blurry when it's far away. Yeah, LASIK in 2008, still doing very well at 47. Nice. Yeah, I have thought about LASIK, and I have heard too many stories, and I know too many people. I know 2 people that had a really rough go with the LASIKs. So I never had the money to pay for it out of pocket. That's not true. I've had the money to pay for it out of pocket. That money just went to other things. So I did not prioritize getting LASIKs. Maybe one day, perhaps. But I did spend a bunch of money on my truck this spring. If you haven't seen it, my truck has been lifted with a bunch of bolt-on parts. It's like, you ever get your first car and go to AutoZone and get like the gear shift knob and, you know, the little air freshener fan dually whip thing that you put on your vent in your car. You know, you get the bolt-on exhaust cover, okay? That's basically what I did to my truck, but a lot more expensive stuff. And so I got the window visors, Got a very cool phone mount, floor mats, seat covers, custom-made seat for the interior, fender flares, a lift kit, new wheels, new tires, a chase bar, bunch of new. I spent a ton of money getting the rust repaired on the rocker panels, and some auto body repair where my truck had been hit. Excuse me. And all of that was very expensive, and that's where all my money went. That's why I can't see, basically. It's because I put it all into my truck. You know, all you ever did was no fear decals in the back window with some Tasmanian Devil decals on the outside of it. Nice. Custom chainmail seat covers? No, I didn't even buy my own seat covers. I thought about it, and what I should have done, and I know this now, is just got the seats reupholstered. Right? It would have been more expensive, but better in the long run. Yeah, so I did a lot of work to the truck to make it nicer, for sure. And I still have a lot of stuff to do to make it nicer and safe. So most of my money for the next several months will just be going to my... I'll have to wear glasses. But I did. I got progressive lenses, and now I can see the work in front of me, and it's a lot easier. And I should have gotten them last year at the... What am I doing? I'm missing a ring here. At my optometry. There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah, I talked about them last year because my optometrist had mentioned them. She didn't think I needed them at the time, but I should have gotten them. Now I have them, and now I can see, and it's easier to work on. It's much easier stuff. All right. All right. So speaking of car mods, right? When I was in high school, I had a 1992 teal Geo Metro with two 12-inch subs in the back, a 1200 watt amp. It might have only been a 600 watt amplifier, and 4 6x9s and two 1-inch tweeters up front, 4 6x9s on the sides. Yeah. The two 12-inch subs just rattled that car apart. Geo Metros were not made for intense amounts of subwoofer bass, right? So if there is nothing too ridiculous that I won't do, really. If I'm willing to put two 12-inch subs into a 92 Geo Metro, I'm willing to do some pretty obnoxious things to my truck, right? Like have you ever seen the bullet antennas? Uh-oh. Been over an hour. We better make sure that we're here. They have these, like, Geo Metros weren't meant for much of anything. I mean, that's true, but I did survive for, like, 2 or 3 years on a Geo Metro it was a 4-cylinder Geo Metro, but only 3 cylinders worked. Found that out there towards the end. So they make a bullet antenna, and it says, it comes in red, white, and blue. It's got like "We the People." It's got, the Punisher skull, right? And it's a very advertised antenna for truck people. I found something better than the bullet antenna. You've never seen the bullet antenna? Go look one up. Bullet antenna for F-150, right? I found it's an it's a AR-15 rifle barrel antenna, right? And that is it's a little more subtle than a bullet antenna, because from far away it just looks like an antenna. But anyone who passes within detailed distance of it that knows what an AR-15 barrel looks like is going to pick up on it right away. And for exhaust tips, so at the end of a rifle barrel, right, an AR-15 rifle barrel or an M16 rifle barrel, there's what's called the muzzle shroud, and it's meant to prevent gas from blowing back in your face, or from the explosion of the bullet coming out of the barrel from blowing back towards you. It's and sound. So it pushes sound, the gases from the explosion behind the bullet, and the flame of the bullet out away from you. It's a muzzle shroud. And so for exhaust tips, I found these very expensive 4 or 5 inch, I think it's 4 inch exhaust tips. Right now, I only have like a 2.5 inch exhaust pipe in my truck. I'm going to change it out eventually, but it'll probably just be to another 2.5 inch. And so I'm going to have this 2.5 inch pipe going into this 4 inch muzzle shroud exhaust coming out from under the side of my truck. It'll be really funny. Does it have a suppressor on it? The antenna? No, that'd be funny though. It doesn't. You could probably modify it to, I don't know. Probably modify it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I haven't ordered it yet. It's on my list of things to order. Right now, I just ordered new window visors because the ones that I originally purchased, they would have been fine if the driver's side hadn't melted and like deformed real bad and started detaching. The other 3 sides were fine. So I just bought new window visors that matched the fender flares, right? And I spent 2 hours today trying to find a gas cap cover for, not a gas cap cover, the fuel door, right? The part that opens up. I was trying to find something to replace that, to match the fender flares as well. I am just going to have to somehow configure it myself. I'm going to paint it black and put 6 or 8 bolts in it and make it look like the fender flares. The fender flares are black with like bolts going around the edge. They're cool. I like them. Alright, so this nice and loosened up because, like I mentioned previously, these rings are not springy like the old rings I was using. So I don't want to rip them apart when I try and go and put this all together. Ow. So yeah, I have a bunch of obnoxious stuff that I bought for my truck. Some stuff that is gonna make it last a while longer. And despite, like, so I started putting money into my truck because the at first I wanted a new Bronco. I wanted a Bronco Raptor. And then I looked at the price and I was like, oh, I could do it, right? I could spend the money to buy an $85,000 vehicle. But I really think no matter how nice, how cool, how technologically advanced the new Raptors are, it does not justify the price, right? Half that, okay, now we're talking. So, like, I'm gonna get a Bronco, and if I had stumbled across the one that I really wanted, the color scheme that I really wanted, I might have bought it, right? But I'm glad I didn't. I didn't end up buying a Bronco. Instead, I needed new headlights. I was driving down to another town where my former in-laws live. My nephew, he had a pilonidal cyst. Your subwoofers are still sitting in your garage. You're still worried about putting them in your hybrid. Yeah, just do it. Okay. So, driving 30 miles a day, 30 minutes a day. Going down to take care of my nephew who has a pilonidal cyst, right? Pilonidal cyst is a cyst in a gland on your butt cheek. And he had gotten really sick on Valentine's Day. Been hospitalized, got septic, and turns out he has this giant cyst on his butt. So goes through the hospitalization, gets home early March, and I start driving down there to do wound care because, well, I am a nurse and I do wound care all of the time. So down there to take care of him. They could have hired someone else. You know, it was nice to be needed, you know? So I go down there, and this was before the shift daylight savings time. And so I'm in my truck, I'm driving home, it's late at night, my prescription is old, my headlights are old, and I can barely see anything. So, telling my brother-in-law about it, and he's a mechanic. He's the one who's worked on my truck ever since I moved up here. And he's like, well, why don't you just get some new headlights? I had just gotten, my tax return, or I was about to get my tax return. And so, early Saturday morning, I'm up drinking some coffee, might have been a little hungover. And, I started looking for headlights. I was like, if I get headlights, well, then I need taillights, right? I don't want to have cool headlights and funny looking taillights. And if I get taillights, well, I probably need a third brake light, And if I get new headlights, I probably need a grill that matches the headlights. The original grill isn't going to match very well. So if I get a grill, then I should probably get a new front bumper, just something cooler, And while we're looking at front bumpers, hey, there's a front and rear bumper combo on this website over here, and I just within a couple hours on one random Saturday morning, I racked up probably $6,000 or $7,000 in stuff to put on my truck. And this was before I had any of the repair work done to it, or before I even had my tax return. So it's like, you give a mouse a cookie, yeah, 100%. So I get all that stuff ordered, it shows up, I get it put on by my brother-in-law, get the auto body stuff repaired, get my truck back, and I'm thinking, I'm driving a work car at this time. I'm thinking, okay, I'll drive this truck for another 10 years. That's, I just dumped a bunch of money into it. It'll be fine. It'll just be my little toy truck that we take around for whenever. right? Well, like a month later, a month after I dropped all this money into my truck, we start getting notifications that we're not driving enough for work, right? Now, mind you, I drive about 1,800 miles a month for work, okay? But only so much of that gets counted. They try to nickel and dime the crap out of everyone. You know, oh, well, these miles here didn't count, and those miles there didn't count, and blah, 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 blah. Very not fun, right? So, people start losing their fleet vehicles that we use to drive for work. And like a month after that, the announcement came down that we're all going to be losing our vehicles. And supposedly it's like all across the company. So I don't know, you know, are they shutting down the fleet program because they're shutting down the company? Are they, I mean, what I do isn't really going away anytime soon. So either the company will get, you know, bought out by someone else or spun off into its own entity. But it's like, you know, something seems to be going on. So now I have to go and start looking for a work car, or just drive my truck that I just dumped a bunch of money into. Right now, it's a 3.5 liter V6 F-150. Right, it'll shit and get with the best of them. But it, you know, it's stock. It's stock as of right now, right? So, and it might be stock for a little while longer, but you really shouldn't put race parts on a truck with 160,000 miles on it. What do you get, like 20? I wish I got 22 miles to get. No, I get city. I get 14 and a half, 14, and in the highway I can get 16. I wish I got 20. So and you can't. You got to put mid-grade or higher into my truck. The E85 or 87 is not good for this engine, right? Yeah. So yeah. So the question becomes: do I go and buy a work car, or do I drive my truck? Now I should go buy a work car, right? Like that seems obvious. But are they going to spin the company off into another entity, or is it going to get bought out? And are they going to reinstate a fleet program within the next year? And would it be worth it to buy another car? And I mean, I should probably buy another car anyway. It's going to suck, but it is what it is. So any car I buy is automatically going to be high mileage by the time I'm finished with it. So, I don't know. It's a mess, is what it is, and it sucks. And so, I mean, I could take my truck that I just dumped all this money into and trade it in and have a lower payment on a vehicle and yada yada yada. And I could try and finagle, you know, a decent vehicle for a decent price, but you never know with the way drivers have treated their vehicle before. And, you know, it's either buy new and lose the value off the top, or buy used and question how did the previous owner treat it, and did they take care of it at all. I hate buying cars. Like I have not had a car payment in 8 years. Like, I just drive my truck, you know, and I never go anywhere. I just have to have a vehicle for work that's reliable, and that's the other thing too. Like, my truck is pretty. All the known issues with it, with my engine, have been repaired. right? It has a cam phaser issue and a timing chain issue, and those were done within the last 30,000 miles. So I've got another 70, 80,000 before they need to be done again. The timing chain, at least. So like truck should run as long as I, change oil. Should be fine for another couple of years. But a lot of my truck is old. Okay, this is the part I don't like, right here. Okay, this is we're getting towards the end, and it's very tight. Everything is very tight. And I've been putting these rings in, and they've been getting distorted. I'm having to put so much pressure on one side. Maybe I need a smaller. Oh. Oh, don't go. Every time I try to close these, I warp the ring. Or I warp the rings around it. They don't want to close. And it's fine. Right? Whatever. There we go. Yeah, they don't want to close. It's a really, well done sculpture if you don't look too closely at the closures of my rings. Let's just be honest there. Yeah, so a whole vehicle fiasco going on. I should have just bought the Bronco. And the company is going to pay a couple $100 a month plus gas. But it's not. I'll tell you right now, it's not going to be enough to maintain a vehicle, pay for gas, and even just tires for a. Oh, there's the thing. There's why I need a new car right there. The tires I bought for my truck are $400 a piece, and yeah, the spare will last, so I probably won't have to change that. But they're only good for 50,000 miles. And so you're talking new tires every 14 months for the amount I drive. So I do like driving around my truck, though. It's nice. People give me funny looks when I pull up to patients' houses. They're like, the neighbors are all watching. Come on. Rose. Be like gentle. Otherwise, you'll rip the ring open. Not really. How'd that work? Okay. All right. Don't look at my closure. Don't look at the closure, and it's a good sculpture. Who is this hooligan at Ethel's house? Yeah, exactly. The one thing, though, is that I don't care for, and if I continue to drive the truck, which I probably won't. probably won't. If I continue to drive the truck, it's going to be really annoying. I have a ton of medical supplies. This music. I have a ton of medical supplies in the back seat of my truck, and having that, excuse me, having that bandages and lab supplies, all that fun stuff, right? And paperwork. I don't like having it in the back of my truck. It takes up too much space, and like my truck is too nice to be burdened with having work stuff in it, right? That's another interesting thing about the truck community is that you do anything to your truck and people are like, you ruined it, or you don't have the right truck with the right engine. Okay, I have a F-150 with the 3.5 liter EcoBoost, which is a V6 twin turbo engine. Okay, and there were anyone with a 8-cylinder engine is automatically going to try and flex, even though the 3.5 owes more, and has a like higher horsepower range, and I don't know. There's a couple other features that I'm not saying that the 3.5 is a better engine, but it's not some lowly piece of garbage like every 8 Coyote 5.0 8-cylinder Ford F-150 owner would have you believe. That's what I'm talking about. I just warped the crap out of this ring. Garbage. Alright, so have I had any problems with the turbos? No, I haven't. But I have heard of people who have, right? And I know that's a big problem with turbo engines overall. So it's funny because my last work car was a Chevy Malibu. It was a 4-cylinder with a turbo, right? So yeah, I don't know what the failure rate of the turbos were on those engines, and I know some people have definitely had problems with them, but I've never had that issue. And I do have, I mean, from what I understand, if you change your oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles, you shouldn't have too many problems with your turbo. But I am not a mechanic, I am not an expert, and don't take my word for it. But I've changed my oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. Never had a problem. So I do have some new full race turbos that I want to get in trouble with, both like with the law and financially. They're not that expensive. Alright, it's a good closure if you don't look at it. There we go. Yeah, so they make two full race turbos, twin turbos, and Garrett turbo, which have been around for forever, I guess. Like, yeah, you probably shouldn't put those on a truck with 160,000 miles on it, but oh well, I guess, I don't know. There's lots of other performance parts I would like to get and put on the engine. A new intercooler, a new radiator, upgrade the turbos and the manifolds and the exhaust, and just, you know. I don't have that kind of money right now, but it'll all get put on eventually. And what's going to slow that down, thing that pisses me off, is if I have to drive the truck for work, I won't have time to get any of this stuff put on anytime soon. And then if I have to buy a work car, then the money I was going to spend on my truck has to go, you know, to pay for the work car now. Dumb. So, I don't know. Ah! Almost killed myself. Almost died right there on accident. That's good if you don't look at it. There we go. What else we got? We've got... Oh, I need a new head unit for my truck for sure. So, the head unit has a tendency to go out, which recently started right around the time I was having all this work done to it. Fairly common problem in my year and model. There we go. That's all done. Right. Only 9 more to go. Right? How many did I need? No, 10 more to go. Right? So how long have I been working on that one? Right? I started a little after 7. Now it's 9:42. 7 to 8, 8 to 9. That's 2 hours and some change. It's really not all that surprising how long that took. So maybe it is going to take me 26 more hours to finish this project, but that's okay. You know what I should do? I should make all the chains like I did with the 40-pound 44,000 ring cube. Make all the chains and then close them up once they're all done. Ugh, okay, I don't want to look at those. Got new rings, better rings, aluminum rings. Got the ringception cube. Alright. There we go. Alright, haven't worked on this in how long? Months. Just months. Right? Probably over a year, honestly. So, for anyone following along at home, we are... let's see if we can get... Alright, there we go. We're making a Japanese 4-in-1 jelly cube. Call it jelly cube because it moves like jelly. This is one of those projects that I'm just going to keep adding to. I tried this once before. And someone actually offered me enough money to part with that one I was working on. So I can be bought. I do not like to sell my stuff very much. I don't like to sell things I haven't made explicitly for sale. Right? Could you talk me out of everything I own? Yeah, probably, for the right price. I'm not dumb. But I like having the chainmail collection that I've made, and I like expanding that. I don't like making stuff just for sale. Just to sell and like try to make money. Not that I think that there's anything wrong with that. It's just I don't want to do it. It's this. Boy, if you had the money, you'd buy my Ringception cube. Not that hard, just make one. It is that hard, actually. It was very difficult. Here's another thing too. Okay, I was thinking about this earlier today. Saw a post come across post, someone apologizing for like not giving exact credit to the person, place, or thing that had originally designed something. And they had said, like, whatever they had made, I don't remember what it was, that it wasn't theirs, right? Like, I did not come up with this. And then I guess they edited the post to say to apologize for not giving the correct homage to the original creator. And it's like, no. You tried initially by saying it wasn't yours. Okay, this is the internet. Not everyone knows who made stuff. Also, right? If you don't want someone to copy your work, make your work very hard to copy. Okay? So, like, no one's just going to churn one of these out overnight. Right? It's going to be, they're going to have to invest some time into copying what I've done. And at that point, I don't care. Anyone can absolutely copy anything I do. That's why I do it. I hope you learn something and go beyond what I've done. Right? Personally, I don't care if someone copies me and then tries to claim that they did it first. My ego is not that big. And, photos and dates and images and all that is easily verifiable. So I'm not overly concerned. If you take the time and energy to copy something I've done, be it my Ringception cube, I don't know what to call the twisty cube frame thingamajig I made, my Pinecone, or any one of my bottle wrap designs, right? Good for you. You put in a ton of work to make something really cool. Hope you enjoy it. Right? I'm never gonna even, I don't know. Maybe if I came up with a weave and I named it after myself and someone tried to claim it was theirs, then maybe I might get jumped. I don't know. Or might be upset. But honestly, if you make something that is easy to copy, easy to duplicate, I don't think it's worth the energy to get upset about it when you're not credited, or for you to get upset on someone else's behalf because they're not credited. Make sense? Right. What about the dog? Did we never finish the dog on stream? I swear I've shown this before. Have you not seen this? I did? Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I think he's fairly simple to recreate. I don't think he's that complex. Right? Make him mobile and everything. It's not impossible. Multiple ways to do it. So, I'm just happy he came out the way he did. Oh, right. still need to get a pen for him so he can be displayed. He's pretty sturdy, but he's not sturdy enough that people can just pick him up and move him around. Certain people can, like most chainmail things that I've done, that they're fragile, right? They're made of metal, but like anything, can be destroyed. So there has to be some restraint when handling them. And you have to handle them with care. Right? Which sounds weird, but it is what it is. Okay. Going. I got 10 ounces. How much did I buy? I don't know how much I bought. I bought 10 of whatever. I think it's ounces. I'd have to ask Wally. I could weigh it, but I'm lazy. Like the snot goblins with grubby fingers. I had a snot goblin with grubby fingers standing right next to me the other night. My neighbor kid, he came down here with my kid. He's 5. And all of a sudden, I got this boogery kid eating potato chips in my ear. I was like, where did you come from? Please don't touch anything. No. I got him to go wash his hands and face. Then he was... Yeah. Listening to some kind of polka music. Good Lord. About died. Okay. I have some green rings and orange rings and blue and gold rings, and I'm going to try and make something with them. I don't want to spoil what it is. Got these. Gotta make 50 of these. And string them all together in the right pattern, and I'm going to make something out of it. Right? So... I do want to make this. I think I have enough ring between the two colors. But that... and this orange. So between the two of them, I should have enough for at least one of these projects. And we'll delve more into that later. But yeah, so I've got 3 projects I'm working on right now. Alrighty. That I have been neglected. Right? Uh-oh, what happened here? You're pretty sure you know what I'm doing? Might. No crime in having thoughts about what I'm doing. But anyway, We'll get more into that later. I just want to use up those rings, and it's kind of a experiment thing to see what works, I guess, for it. All right, so I'm trying to remember how big I got the last cube I made, right? I'm working on the 6th row. I gotta relearn all my cube information. Right? I was talking about chainmail math and how I shouldn't talk about it because chainmail math is meant for smarter, prettier people than me. Am I going to use a leather cord? I have leather and hemp that I could use. Thank you for sharing the live. Much appreciated. Right. Something I have not checked on is before I got fiber, I had really sketchy stream, right? And I have my computer hardwired into the fiber line now, and I don't actually know how the stream is doing on other platforms. I know that it's not, not a lot of views out there that can be seen. Most of my views come from TikTok, as per usual. Wondering, I assumed that if I had a better connection, views would follow. Maybe I need more time streaming. I don't know. I don't know how any of it works, to be honest. It's good, not a bad bag. Go check. Oh, crap. I have to... These rings are slippery or something. I don't think something's on them, just aluminum. Okay. I think maybe I just need to get used to... Scott, thank you for the like. Much appreciated. I don't know. I think I just need to get used to working with this aluminum again, and I don't work with a lot of aluminum. So, like how you grip aluminum versus stainless is slightly different because you want to be gentle with the aluminum, but firm enough to get it to where it's going. And stainless sometimes. Facebook isn't working at all. That's interesting. Okay, that's, I don't know. First stream in months, always glitches, always problems. So we will figure it out. So I have the right camera equipment to send. YouTube is like 15-20 seconds behind. That's not terrible. Not quite as good as I want, but whatever. Maybe I should stick to the Wi-Fi. I wonder if I should. I wonder if the Wi-Fi to the fiber is faster than my landline to the fiber. Either way, doesn't matter. Being 15 to 20 seconds behind real time is leaps and bounds ahead of where I was, right? Without the understanding that my equipment was the wrong stuff for what I was trying to do. All of that has been improved. Okay. Oh, so you said looks good and not a bad. Oh, not a bad lag length. Got it. I read that wrong. Thank you for checking. Much appreciated. Did I go with a mesh system? Yes, I did. I've got several towers of Wi-Fi coursing throughout my house. They're all working except for one. And they were putting in fiber the other day for AT&T. We have T-Mobile in the Parkway portion of my sidewalk. AT&T that runs in the back of the house that they just started putting in this year. So just in general, huge improvement over the AT&T service I had before. So I'm much happier guy now. All right, there's no lag, nothing, or any of my equipment in the house on Wi-Fi. And I got a T-Mobile cell phone plan, so occasionally I have problems out on the county where there's no service and no one lives out there. There's no humans for miles around, just cows and corn and solar fields. So occasionally I have problems out there, but for the most part, it's pretty good. The dead areas are pretty, like, they're just dead areas I have to drive through. And as long as I get a work car, I don't have to worry about breaking down in the dead zones. You know? But driving my truck through some of the areas with no service is going to feel a little sketchy. Ow. There you go. Progressive lenses, you're the one. So I can see the tiny ring closures. I couldn't have done this last week before my glasses showed up. So I'm glad they showed up when they did. The optometrist told me 4 to 6 weeks, and I think it's here. I went to the optometrist, and the hang on, excuse me. Ooh. The what do you call it? You know what? I want to hang on. We'll get back to the Facebook thing here in a second. Okay, just remind me, Facebook. Why it's not working. I have a theory. Went to the optometrist. The glasses shop by the optometrist at the VA was closed. The 1 day a year I go. Of course they were closed. So I had to go back like 2 weeks later. Maybe 3, I don't remember. So it's been like 3 weeks since I picked out the frames, which they're the exact same frames as I got last year. I'm not one trick pony. What do you call it when someone picks the same thing over and over and over again? Like I bought a pair of comfortable shoes and they wore out, and then I bought the same pair of shoes again. So, but Facebook, yeah, I think I know why Facebook doesn't work. I use Pretzel Rock right, for music, and I was getting all kinds of flags on my Facebook. You'd have to go back through and like manually challenge the thing. So I bet my live got pulled on Facebook because of the music, which is dumb. But if I have to sit here in silence and talk to myself, that sucks. But it is what it is. Or I could just not stream to Facebook and just stream to YouTube and TikTok, because I don't seem to have problems on that. Yeah. Platforms, social media platforms, like on the back end, they're all dumb. Okay? All of them. They have... There's very few similarities in the rules. That you can say things on some platforms that you can't say on others. You can play some music on some copyright-free music that you were using on one platform. It doesn't work on another, and on and on and on. And they're just absurd with their rule enforcement. They're also the whole reason you were using, the whole reason I was using Pretzel Rock, because it's supposed to be copyright free, but I forgot that Facebook doesn't like it. I should just turn that off and just stream to YouTube. It's not just because. Okay. Well, we'll see how it goes. When I stream, I want to stream for consistently, for multiple hours, and my understanding is that is really the best way to go. And now I have like the right equipment to do it and everything. So if I put some energy in towards growing my channel, streaming consistently, then over time it should grow, I think, right? I've thought that in the past, but in the past I had the wrong connection, the wrong equipment, what I was trying to do. And so, like, there were very obvious reasons why it wasn't growing very well. And also, my whole live was very sketchy, right? So, my point is, I think if I work really hard now, things will be better, right? Let's hope so. And even if they're not, at the end of the day, I will have dedicated plenty of time down here working on projects, getting stuff done. So we should have a lot of work done. Not like any of this stuff ever has to be done, right? I don't have to sit down here and open and close rings over and over and over again. I do it because I'm fairly good at it, and I make some cool stuff, right? But what I make never gets made. You know, I'm the only one that's going to be disappointed. So, I don't know. Consistently show up. Focus on growing the channel, right? Stop streaming to Facebook because they kicked me off. Because they're lame. And I don't know actually if that is the case with why I'm not on Facebook right now. What the problem is. I'm just guessing. It could be totally something unrelated. You know, tomorrow night it might work like a charm. Alright. I don't know how quickly I can burn through all these rings. You have... Well, you know, obviously at least 26 hours for the Pinecone. Figured that out. But I do have another project I want to try. Oh, no, I can't talk about that yet, actually. I haven't signed an NDA or anything, but there's something coming that I haven't had, like, I don't have all the details, but I know that some is coming in the mail to me, which is cool. And so, yeah. That'll be exciting news when it gets here. And I don't like to be cryptic, it's just, it's someone else's project, so it's not my place to talk about it. People are doing things, though. I think I'm gonna finish up this layer. It's 10, 12. It'll be 2.5 hours for one night, for a work night. Two hours for a work night. I think I started, I don't remember what time I got started. Don't I have a timer thing? Yeah. It's a decent stream. It's a decent stream, especially for a work night, right? I know that. Okay, so here's a challenge to streaming longer, right? Simply the number of hours in a day, 1, and 2. I should get up and like stretch and move around more often. But this is already slow enough. Opening and closing thousands of rings, hundreds of thousands of rings sometimes, is a slow-going process. I hate to get up and delay it by stretching, you know? It's hard enough to tell progress as it is with these, you know, the addition of one ring at a time. This does eventually get bigger, right? So, like, you're just physically incapable of sitting for so many hours and weaving. You have to get up and move around. So definitely have to do that. But also, with some materials, it is very difficult on your body to sit and weave for hours on end. Right? You get back pain, neck pain, you get wrist pain, carpal tunnel. Okay? You get calluses on your hands. So some materials are just very tough on your body. I want to take care of myself for a long time, so that I can make chainmail for a long time. So that means I have to limit how much I do a day. Plus, also, I have to work. I don't know. We'll see. Grow the YouTube channel. Do lots of streams. Make cool stuff. I think I have 95 YouTube followers, right? I don't think anyone watches consistently, obviously, right? I haven't been streaming. What happened to the grid mat? It's been gone for a hot minute. I don't know how much it was gone before I switched over to this piece of leather. And then, like, wasn't able to stream for a long period of time. But, yeah. It's right behind me. Yeah, on the table behind me. think. Well, I can't tell. I'll have to like figure it out. Next. Here. Now I don't know. Now I don't remember which side I was working on. Not this side. Okay, so usually I do like okay. I gotta get my dimensions correct on this. This is not square or even like the jelly cube offset. It's just that must have happened. It says my live is only 22 minutes long. Did it? Yeah, it probably restarted and got disconnected by Facebook. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on there. So that's probably a my computer thing now that I look at that. Okay. Which there we go. Okay, so obviously I have a lot of work down here to do, so hopefully I'm going to be down here a lot, and I will try and stream while I do it, and you guys come hang out and say hi. And yeah, it is the leather I used for another project, at least one other one. I just had a slab of it, a side of it laying around. So thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you. I am gonna call it a night, and we'll get more work done tomorrow.